Welcome to the channel here, folks. Today I'm going to try a precision landing pad challenge here with the DJI Air 3. I'm going to use different landing pads and test out its precision landing to see if the different landing pad, to make any difference in its precision landing. So I'm going to use the first landing pad, the wrong one, and I'm going to take the drone up. I'm going to take it out probably about 1,000 feet, and then I'm going to hit the return to home button, and I'm going to repeat it with the other landing pads. So let me start the screen recording. So there we go. Screen recording up and running. So here we go. Screen recording up and running. Let me just move this a little away from the center. 24 satellites, 98% on the battery. Sticks in. Takeoff. And there you can see the drone rising. Home point updated. Let me just let it have a look at the home point. And now let me take it out. Haven't flown this drone in close to a month. Take it out about 1,000 feet. Absolute smooth image. No issues at all. And notice with the latest update and the controller, and now I'm seeing that the drone is in P mode instead of normal mode. I don't know what I'm about. So I'm well over 1,000 feet. I'm like 1,869 feet. Let me just hit the return to home, and let's see where this is going to land. And it has turned around and it's coming back, and now you can see this beautiful green, the augmented reality strip here on the screen. Looks beautiful as the drone is coming back. So let me see where it is going to land. I have a rock here on the landing pad because it's a little bit breezy. I don't want it to move. But the drone is coming back. I could see it in the distance there. And I just want to make sure I capture it correctly when it lands. So here it is, right overhead. It's turning around. Let me see if I could capture it here in the action camera. So this coming down, this coming down, it is coming down, it is coming down, and it is right over the landing pad. Let's see where it lands. And oh my, it's a precision landing. It's a precision landing. Down, it's coming down, it's coming down, and it is right over the landing pad. Let's see where it lands. And oh my, it's a precision landing. It's a precision landing. Okay, so let's change out the landing pad here. Let's change out the landing pad here. Let's use this square landing pad. So let's put this to one side. And let's take the drone up again using the square landing pad this time. And we are off. And it's up. And let's push it out the same distance. And see where it is going to land and the return to home.
Max altitude reached.
Okay. So I believe that I'm coming up very close to where I pushed out the last time. I think it was just over 1700 feet. 1769 probably. Okay. Let me hit the return to home again. And let's see where it lands using the square landed pad. And it is coming back very quickly. I had meant initially to do this test up by the schoolyard, but just feeling a little lazy to leave my yard. So I decided to do it right in the yard here. And it's back, it's overhead, it's seven around. And let me see if I could capture it now coming down. And here it is. It's coming down. It's coming down. And it's another precision landing. Spot on. So 2 for 2. Let me now try this landing pad. I made this myself. And let me see how it performs. So this one is very light. And it might blow away. We just land it up on here. So we know exactly where we took off from. Sticks in.
Takeoff. Home point updated.
And the drone is up. So let me just push out again. That's about over 1800 feet. And let me see where it is going to come down. The wind is shifting the landing pad, but I actually have a circle where the drone took off from, so I could actually just place the landing pad there when the drone is descending. And so I'm very close. Right about here. Now let me hit the return to home and let's see how close it is going
Return
to
to
come
home.
back to home. It's coming back. This landing pad is very small. It's a makeshift landing pad that I fashioned myself. I have this knack of forgetting my landing pads when I go flying. And so sometimes I prefer to use these makeshift ones and use the ones that I pay my hard earned money to purchase. Because on a few occasions when I return, the landing pad was nowhere to be found. And I don't want to keep losing my landing pads. So the drone is coming back, I could see it. The wind has died down. So let me place the landing pad here. And the drone is right overhead. And it has turned. And again, let me see if I could capture it coming down. And I am thinking that is over the landing pad here. And the landing pad is flapping a bit. What is the precision landing? 3 out of 3. Lovely. And so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use this piece of cardboard. I use this sometimes when I'm flying. You know, when the area that I'm flying from is very filthy. and I don't want my landing pads get messed up. So let me try this. So far, it seems that it doesn't matter whether the landing pad is wrong, square, broad, long. It seems that the drone is going to find its way right back to the spot that it took off. So let me try this now.
Takeoff.
And we are up.
Updated.
Home point updated. And let me push it out again. Same general area, same general distance. And then let me see where it is going to land on this occasion. So it's 3 out of 3 so far. 4 landing pads. Still 61% on the battery. So just about there. Let me again hit the return to home. And let's see where it comes down this time on this makeshift, this piece of cardboard. So it's 3 out of 3. I saw the Idaho quadcopter, Marcus Crawford did a similar test with the DJI Mini 4 Pro, and he had good results with the drone. That drone too has precision landing, so it was pretty accurate. But I have the impression that the DJI Air 3 hit the mark with more accuracy than the Mini 4 Pro did in the Idaho quadcopters test. I could see a plane way in the distance. No trouble at all here. We are actually overhead and it is coming down for the landing. It is going to turn around very shortly. So let me capture this. And the drone is coming down. And you may be able to see it here. Hesitated a little bit. It's going to come down. It's going to come down on the rack. It's going to mess up my blades. Oh, spot on. Maybe this is the best one of all. I believe that this is the best of the 4 attempts so far. My. Okay, so there's one more test to be done here. And what I'm going to do this time, I'm not going to use any landing pad. There's a circle on the ground here which I mark, and I'm going to see if I'm going to get a precision landing without using any landing pad. So in this final test. I'm not going to use any landing pad at all. I've drawn a circle on the ground, and I'm going to take off the drone from this circle, and I'm going to see if it returns to the exact spot or how close it returns. I have already have 4 precision landing in a row. Let's see if I can make it 5 in a row. So the drone has taken off. And as I said previously, I've not flown this drone for close to a month. I recently did the update on the controller, the RC2, and I had no issues at all in updating the fly app. I noticed a lot of people complained that they had issues, that it took a long time, that it failed, the update failed, and they had to redo it, etc., etc. I had no such issues. Only thing that I noticed that instead of N for normal mode, it is now P, which is saying P mode. I saw a lot of persons were commenting on that. I was checking to see if there's any later update to correct that, and I found none so far. So P mode it is. So I'm pushing out, and I will try to get out roughly around the same distance as in the other 4 tests, and then I'm going to push the return to home button and the app, and I'm going to let the drone fly back. I'm going to do that now. It's on its way back. It has turned around, and I'm going to see how close it is going to come to the circle where it took off. This drone never ceases to amaze me in terms of the ease in which it flies. It is very fast. It just appears as if it glides through the air. And when you fly this drone, you feel that you're flying something premium, something in a higher category than if you're flying to say a Mini 3 or a Mini SE. It is just a phenomenal drone, absolute excellent drone to fly, and maybe I do not fly it as often as I should, but the drone is back, it's right overhead, it has turned around, and it is coming down. I will try to pick it up on the action cam so that you can see where it is going to land. It is coming down. You could see that it has already picked up the circle, and it is descending very slowly, and down it comes, and it lands, and the left arms are on the circle, the right arms are off, so it's a little bit off the circle, but it is still what I consider to be a precision landing, maybe not as consistent or accurate with the landing pads, but it is still a precision landing, and it just shows that whether you use a precision landing or whether you just take off from an unmarked area where there's no landing pad, etc., that the drone is going to come back to the point where it took off. So if you like this video, please share, please comment, please give it a thumbs up. The DJI Air 3 precision landing test using different landing pads. Cheers, and I will see you very shortly in my next
video.